entire life that had showed me what real love was about. You know, what that people of faith could have real love. I went through so much self-hatred and self-loathing and all these things about who I was, and that's what I learned from going to Jerry Falwell's church, which is really bad. And so we get there at her house, and Brian goes in. And I'm sitting out in the car, and I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. I'm thinking, and I'm shaking, and I don't know what the hell is going on. So she comes back out, she's sitting behind me, and she puts both of her hands on my shoulders. And she's like, okay, are you ready for me to talk to you about this? I'm like, yeah, tell me. She says, there's been a fire, and it's been really bad. And what you need to do is we need to go there. I'm like, so nobody's dead, right? Nobody's dead. And she's like, no, nobody's been hurt. No, everybody's okay. And I was like, okay, everybody's okay. But there's a fire. And I'm like, okay. And so we decided we have to drive back. Now Scottsburg is a tiny little burg in southern Indiana. And you know, where we were, when you look east, you know, where the sun's going down, or west, where the sun's going down, you know, the skies, everything like that, and I see this smear, this like black smear, like way off in the distance, and I realize that I can smell my house burning from here. And it's like, okay. So we drive out there. So we slowly, it just takes forever. It was like, this is the worst drive of my life. It's just like this amazing, okay, what's happened? All right, everybody's okay, but what's happened? And so we drive out this long, winding crap down Finley Firehouse Road, which is really fun. And we get to this house, this prestige house that my father bought as some type of Playboy mansion for himself to somehow bribe his kids. And there's just cars everywhere. I mean, because we had a huge yard. I mean, this thing went way up. It was like 9 acres. So you had this really long area, and then you had like the little lake in the front yard, basically. And then it goes up even further, and there's the house. And this black smoke is just rising up out of this house that the first time my brother and I had seen it was the night, you know, we went to see it the first time right after my parents had announced their divorce. And it was this horrible moment for us because everything in our life had changed. This illusion of this perfect family had just vanished. It vanished that whole time. And we had walked around in the snow, and we had looked at the motorcycles, and we thought we were so lucky to have this fantastic place. And so I get there, and we park at the bottom of the hill. And it's like me and Brian and our friend April, who I've told stories about, and all these things, and we all have our arms around each other, and Anne, and we walk up to this ruin. And, you know, there was 2 roofs on the house. There was the roof for the house, and then there was the roof from the pool. And there were 18 sliding glass doors around that pool. And it was gone. It had collapsed. And it was inverted inside the pool. And all the beautiful sliding glass windows had fallen out this direction and just shattered. And the whole place just reeked of flame and fire. And, you know, it was like trying to stand there to try and imagine what was going on and what had happened. And my room was like on the corner. Like there was the pool area, and then there was a room which was mine, and then bathroom at my mom's room. So I walk up to the window and I look in, and this is the room where I had lost my virginity and got drunk for the first time and had isolated myself for so many years. And the house it wasn't close enough to like a hydrant, so they had to pump water out of our pond and throw it into the house. So there was mud and leaves and frogs and everything that had been in there all over the place. And the ceilings had all collapsed and fallen through. So my room was like this layer of muck and like this nightmare picture of my room with the old Duran Duran posters that I had still left up. And I looked in the room with the broken window and I started laughing. I started really laughing hard. And it's like I backed away and I was laughing and I sat down finally and it just kind of degraded into this horrible sobbing cry. And, the next day, when your house burns, there's lots of wasps everywhere. And I was wearing that horrible green shirt that I had. And of course I had wasps flying down my shirt and I had to be very careful because it was the only shirt that I had. It was very strange. But the thing was it was as if this house had been this focus for all the pain that I had lived through for that last 10 years. It was like that weird moment, that weird creature in Star Trek that looks so wonderful and beautiful, and then when you shoot it in the head, it suddenly becomes what it always was. And I don't remember that house as anything other than this nightmare image of the kitchen with the sagging cabinets and a room that's completely blackened out, and my room with the ceiling that had fallen in and all my clothes burned. And it was a complete rebirth. Everything was wiped away. Everything was wiped away. There was nothing left that I could really salvage from that. I don't have pictures. I have nothing from high school. I have no graduation photos. I have no diploma from high school that I got. I've got no scripts that I had from the stupid high school plays that I was in. And he's got nothing. It was this completely wiped slate. And after all of it, now that I look back, it's just like that was one of the best things that happened to me. And I'm completely lucky.
Round of applause for Jared.